Okay, here we go. John McKeag here. John, Jack, that guy. Liberty 8 Academy Admissions. This is about our school. If you have any questions about our school or other questions to do with our courses or whatever, just drop them in the chat, right? We're the school that teaches you all the financial hacks that are legal that you can do. It all starts with the trust we have, which makes it so you don't have to pay the IRS ever again forever. And you don't have to fill out any paperwork at the IRS forever. Isn't that great? No more taxes. Oh, and you get so many other benefits with this too. So this is a school. We just have a couple courses. You take those few courses and you know how to do all this, and that's it. No more needing accountants forever. No more paying the IRS. No more giving the IRS money. That ends. And then you get a whole bunch of money from the government in different ways. So it's really wonderful to get in this and to learn this information. uh, so many free things you can get with this. Um, we'll go over that. But let's go over the school because you're like, okay, what is this Liberty 8 Academy? All right. Any questions, just toss them in the chat there, please. Okay, so Liberty 8 Academy, what is it? Liberty 8 Academy teaches our students to radically improve their lifestyle with legal, easy to use financial methods not widely known, but proven by testimonials to work for all of our students. Our courses use copyrighted, unique material only used at our school. All our students' testimonials have a notarized affidavit proving their outcomes and testimonials are 100% real by real people just like you. And we're the only school that has that. No other school has that. So we're the only school you can trust. So we teach you about trust. Isn't that wonderful? We have a team here. It's a family-run business. It's my information that I prove worked. It's all copyrighted, and then I showed everybody else how to do it. And we have a team of people here that help you. At the school, get your information. Finish up your courses. Okay, I got my trust. Everything works. All that. Sweet Jesus with Elijah Y. All right. Jack, I know you're busy, but would you like to ask? But I would like to ask, how are you doing? Outside of Trust Liberty Aid and helping others, how are you doing as a man? Uh, there is no man outside of that. That's funny. I just serve Christ. Is how I do it. Sweet Jesus with Elijah White. That's quite a name. Uh, you know, there's no higher service to serve Christ with proof. Proof you're serving Him, and everyone can know you're serving Him by your actions, your outcomes, and so on. I haven't seen anyone else with those outcomes and proof, that they're serving Christ. I've never actually seen that other than mine. So uh, I'm really happy about the life I live as a servant of Christ. So, but outside of that, as a man, I want to get out of this dome, man. I don't want to, the sooner I die, like right this second, the better, right? That's as soon as life ends, that's when you win the game, and my karma is legit. So I'm just looking for that last breath, man. That last breath in the dome. As a man, that's all I want. All right, good question. Thanks for that question. How are you doing? Quite a long name. How about I call you Sweet? How are you doing, Sweet? Let me know. All right, George, Elijah, I don't mean to be presumptuous, but I think he's doing great. That's sweet, George. Okay. you know, the slogan we have to live by is don't worry, be happy, and do your best, and God will take care of the rest. So it's our role, because really, honestly, what upsets the other team, right? The most from a servant of Christ. What makes them the craziest of anything, right? Besides saying Jesus Christ, and yeah, right. But beyond that, right? What is it? What is the thing that makes them most upset? Us being happy that upsets them. They're like so it's actually required that we're happy and doing good, and I am. Thank you for asking. Uh, Okay, so we got a team of crew here. Is it sometimes easier just to pay the ticket? Of course, pay the ticket. I don't recommend fighting tickets. I never was the one for doing that. That's a waste of time. Why? They just hold up your license, give you points, blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? I just say go the whole way with the trust and say I don't need no license plate and all that stuff. But then does that pay you money? No, it makes a big giant hassle with the cops all the time. So it's just like, here are your license fees, or your piece of plastic fees, which gives you ID, right, to get you, do all this other banking stuff and get their money and crap like that. So those things are super cheap um, things to get, and they're helpful. So I don't see it, helpful to operate your business called the person get all the perks and all that stuff that they say get all that money and whatnot. You can get way more from them than they get from you for a piece of plastic and a license plate on a car. You could go a whole lot more, and that's just obviously what the you know the police do. They don't do anything else. They whatever they read the drugs and everything. They're like, we're stopping all these people. Yeah, but well, you're actually the ones doing it. But other than that, they're just out there sitting there waiting by the road to catch anybody doing any little thing that's really inexpensive to stop. So I don't really recommend people don't get their license and stuff like that. There's just so much more opportunity for getting money from them if you have those things, and it's not a waste of your time and stuff. It's like, why fight for something when they could just hold up giving you a license charge? Go get their money. Like, I just focus on their money and not they could have stopped you and touched you and stuff like that. But I mean, they can stop you, but they can't touch you. But they could hassle you, and it's just annoying. So, sweet. Not say you're doing bad. No, no. Just ask. That's nice. And I appreciate it, sweet. Yeah, man. You ask. Hey, somebody asks me a question. I tell them the truth. That's the only thing we have, actually. Somebody asks you something, you have the truth. You tell them my answer is this. This is why it's my answer. That's it. That's all we have. George, I'm only asking it because my kid got a ticket, and yeah, we're thinking about paying it. Yeah, yeah, no, no, that's my feedback, man. Uh, yeah, Jack, I see you updated your website. Yeah, remove the chat. Yeah, yeah, no, I removed the ability for outside people to ask questions. Yes, sweet. But there's a forum for students that's private where crazy great information is shared. And that's been just an improved idea to keep the wolves at bay, and it doesn't waste students' time. And man, it's just so much information on there. Any student who's listening, really, if you're not in the what's called the community portal in your login, you've got to get in that. There's so much in there. Okay, but no, that's why we do that. Sweet. It's like my time is valuable, and I just don't waste it. Pearls before swine, right? The people that were showing up were mostly swine. So I'm at the school. We have a lot of students. I'm here helping those people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I don't have time to be on social media except for these two planned events where people could know I'm there. You know what I mean? In fact, I was on. That's good. You brought up social media. I was on TikTok. There was Liberty 8 Academy TikTok, and I got the 1,000 followers you're supposed to get or whatever. I went live, and after one live, during one live, it was like click. It was turned off, and then I got a thing on TikTok. It was like your account is permanently closed. I was like, man, that was quick. There was no warning. It was just like, click, off. That's it. Okay, I didn't think that was going to work, but man, is that fast. So, the only thing on social media, I can't talk about all of my stuff on here. Obviously, on social media, they'll just clip me on YouTube too. But, I do these two live events on YouTube. So, Thursday 7 p.m. and Mondays at noon. That's where I do People have questions and stuff like that. They can not only type them and get an interaction, but they can ask and get my information. And that way, if the wolves show up, right, people can watch me deal with them, and I'll handle them, and just ask for proof like I always do, and then use their thing as an explanation. But I don't want to do that with my life. Neither do students. So that private forum for students is just fantastic. So we didn't waste our time with the public anymore with information, because the whole pearls before swine, just so many government agents showing up and stuff like that. So that's fine. George, the fact that his signature on the license is written, yeah. I told him to take all the money he saved and pay in taxes. Now, no, that's what George, you gotta look at it. You gotta weigh your uh, use of time and aggravation and stuff like that. Exactly the way you're doing, George. And that comes from experience. That's why you're the experienced guy telling your son, feels like you got all the time in the world and energy and stuff like that because you're young. But listen, if you just do this, then you get more money and you'll spend less time. And that's what all this becomes. That's why all my hacks are like, okay, here are the biggest money, here's the next money, here's, like that down the road. You just kind of weigh your time out. Exactly like you're saying, George. That's exactly the way to weigh, in on this whole thing. Aggravation, time, what it costs you, stuff like that. Exactly, exactly. But then there are the few, that need the true answers. And if they want to get it, not have a license, go out and see what the trust could do and stuff like that. Not to learn themselves, but to save the information on video to show others. You know what I mean? The cops can't touch you with stuff like that. Then that's a spiritual mission that of value to everyone. And if you feel compelled to do that, get video. That's all I say. Because don't do it for yourself. It'll just make your life a pain in the ass. But I'm not saying be a crusader either. I'm actually saying not for everyone to do it and just to super limit it for only, that's the only reason I could ever think of. And I haven't done it myself. I've done other things. Real estate matters to me more getting for free than a free license, right? I'd rather get $1 million home for a homeless person, and that technology matters. And that's in my new book in the last chapter, and that's coming on Patreon. Hoping to have it up next week. There's just hurdles about payment gateway and timing. They approved our Patreon thing, so now we're just got a couple more things to do. Get ready, we're approved. So my book's going to be in there, and the last chapter in the book. To me, it's about real estate. This is a turf war. You say we got to pay to be at homes that God built. I don't think so. Nah, that ain't it at all. So that technology, spiritual technology, can and does ultimately trump financial technology in certain ways. And the ways that it does it, that's really important. So to me, that's why I've always pushed for that technology, not because they can't touch you if you're driving around. All you got to do is pay a little license fee or something. That's like nothing. But it's not like a little license fee or something like that to take a home. That's real money and stuff. So that's why I'm like, that's where this technology really matters, and that's why I put that information in my book. Free home with no paperwork and can get within an hour for any homeless individual. That technology matters to me and to millions of people that are homeless. So I focus on that. Not needing paperwork stuff, because once that goes down and works and that's going fine, the thing about a driver's license and a license plate becomes a little thing, actually. You see what I'm saying? So that's why the way I'm attacking it, to be honest with you. But I don't mind if somebody breaks some trail somewhere, just get some video, That's the only reason to do it, get video. All right, average guy. Yeah. All right, there's some free resources, like I was saying. I'm live twice a week, right, on this YouTube, and if you give your email, you get to the website. It's like, hey, you want to give us your email? That's an orientation thing. Like, you'll get some emails to your email that tell you about the school and courses, and just I assume you want to know about our school and what we have to offer. So it just tells you that, That's all, and there's probably a little discount in there if you keep an eye on them emails. So really, everybody should get the trust. The McKay Mastery Trust is basically has two courses instead of one in it. Has a business finance 101 and the trust together, both of them. So it's not just a trust. You open up an account and hey, no taxes forever. But then the business finance 101 course teaches you how to build credit for the trust, get credit cards, blah blah blah. So those are kind of like the trust is our entry level course, and then the business finance 101 is our mid level course, and then the mentor program is like our see business finance 101. This is like our mid level course, teaches you how to build credit for the trust, has a lot in it, and the mentor program is after you get your trust open, after you build some credit for the trust. Then it's like, okay, what's everything else? How do I do everything else? That's in the mentor program, okay? Which we are moving to Patreon, so I can talk about everything in it. You know what I mean? I don't have to be limited to just only financial hack applications, but everything's going to be over there. Okay, so we're working on floating that over there and getting everybody over there and so on, which will happen. And like I was saying, on my YouTube live twice a week, right? Monday at noon and Thursday at 7, like now. Okay. Joseph, good evening. Hey, you submitted your document to registered trust. Nice. Good. And you're waiting for a response. Aces, man. Way to go. I'm super happy for you. Way to go. And then, whatever is going to happen, if either they say, yay, you're done, and they give you, they let you know, or they're like, we didn't approve it, and, we need X, Y, or Z. So it's a process. Just hang in there, whatever happens. Just you'll get there. We'll help you get there, all right, man? Good for you for doing it. Way to go. That's the first big step. The rest of it's, after that, it's like a piece of cake. You just do everything. Dee Dee, what's up? Hey, yeah, no, I'm stoked to get this book out, but I have to. It is it could be so earth shattering that I just I've seen what it's done to people already, so I have to put it over there in a way that won't get the school shut down because it's just gonna be so much information for most people. I think you're far along, Dee Dee, so it'll be kind of like the missing final puzzle pieces for you. But for a lot of other people to be like, I didn't know all that, So, uh, do you think that about, do you think after court cases, 1 or 2 days of service in homeless free homes is time enough to put in? Uh, it's not like that, Dee Dee. You have a family you care for and all that. You're doing all this work and so on. If you have extra time and so on, you know, I I have the information on what can be done. You follow me? And I like your question, first of all, a lot. All right, Teeny, I love your question. Because honestly, that's the focus of where my head is all the time is activism, action, taking action, what to do, and how to help people the most. And really the way to help people the absolute most is to put out some testimonials, to be honest with you. Is to get to achieve some work, right? Save the information and just do a testimonial. Hey, guess what? This City of Liberty Aid worked and so on like that. Uh, because if you're not saving records to help others, and there's nothing wrong with doing it for yourself because you don't do anything for yourself because you're a matriarch, you watch over a family and all that stuff. That's my point. You're already doing a lot for a lot of people and stuff like that. I'm not the individual to say for you or anyone, honestly, do more or something like that. No, that's not your karma is your karma. What you do is what you do. Your actions. What I'm saying is these are actions you could take. And I'm also, how to say this. I've been told not to do it myself. You know what I mean? Because if I do this thing that's so obvious that everyone has done in the U.S., honestly, other people have already done it successfully. And if I go out there and be the one that does it, it's the end of the game. It's the final thing to do in the game. You see what I'm saying? And so if I do the final thing, I've done everything up to get to the final, doing the final thing in the game. And then I'd end the game, and then I would have won, and no one else would have won. So it's more important that I just go, hey, guess what? I'm going to just show you the rule book, and everything that's going on. I'm going to inform you so you can make better decisions. You know what I'm saying? So my job is to give you better information, more clear information, so you can make better decisions, Dee Dee, about what time makes sense for you individually. Put it, given your family and all the responsibilities you already have. And I'm answering you that way because, first of all, I know you. You give more than most, if not anyone, to what you do. Uh, so I want to be able to answer your question in a way that other people can understand. Why I'm answering you in the way I'm answering you, because you have to weigh, like I was talking about with George. You have to weigh your time and where you individually do the most. You say working with the homeless and so on. Yeah, I'm going to give you some information where, maybe you want to do this or whatever. But maybe you don't. Maybe it's not your calling what I'm going to, it's a lot to take in to break the trail on whatever I bring up. And so I'm not advocating that certain individuals do it. I explain in the book, you do this, and guess what? You broke ranks, and you made it to heaven, just guaranteed. So, I mean, you know, but there's past that too. But that's a good first stage. uh, so no, it's my role to give information on what the possible things that can be done and how and so on, to give people better information so they can make more informed decisions. And try and give them, oh, this is what happens when you go down that road, and this is what happens when you go down there. Not to make choices for people to say, oh, you should do this and that, but to so you can make, oh, I didn't know this, that, and the other. Now I know that. You're what you're going to choose is clear, for you, DD, or for anyone. Okay, but look, and hey, everybody, look where DD's heart is. She's like me and the homeless people. I can't handle it. So, good question. I hope I answered that well. I tried to. I tried to. Uh, anyway, George. Yeah, no, right? I want to hear his outcome too. Dee Dee, how to help the ones on the street. That's my focus. So I'm gonna I have something for that. Don't you worry about that. If you want to do it, uh, no, I have it. There's going to be a single piece of paper ultimately that will change the world. It is actually already created. But people need information in that book, or they're just going to be overwhelmed. They're gonna. I've seen that people lose themselves. They lose their way. They lose their way. They become overwhelmed, and they just can't move forward. So they need to have this information and digest it and be clear on reality. Then take that single action that you're talking about. Because otherwise you'll be undone by your programming, or what comes at you or stuff like that. Because that whole, I've done this work on that stuff for many years, and that's what I've seen. People are overwhelmed by lack of information. So the book over on Patreon will come out. You gather that, you process that, and then there's going to be some information. Yes, of course, that's the only thing I'm working on, Dee, is the homeless people. There is an answer, and it's going to be a choice to be homeless now. After this, can be free soon. Dee Dee, yeah, I agree with Dee Dee. Yeah, totally. Maybe I could pray and ask God for my service. Of course, Dee Dee. Yes, you have the one-on-one relationship with God. Of course, yes. George, Dee Dee, I'm a bleeding heart lover, man. Yeah. All the homeless people I know can't comprehend that. They will comprehend what I will put in their hand on one piece of paper. Every individual will be able to comprehend and do what the solution is. That was a problem, George, that I had to overcome. You're right about that. But that has been overcome with this technology that is in the book. Uh, I've actually let homeless people into my house. Yeah, no, I know. I mean, surprised they did. No, it's for each individual to do like their relationship with God, and for them to do. It's not us to fix someone else's karma to be homeless or not. That's why it's like, okay, here's the technology, here's the information, anyone can do it. Then the karma's off of me or whatever. It's on each individual. Then that's the way it should be, so that that burden isn't on someone else. It's on the individual. Uh, and I would say anyone, even say teens and younger could use this method. It's for homeless children too, not just for adults, and they can comprehend it and do it as well. Yeah, I know, Dee Dee. It's just safer to put the information over there where people are going to have access to it. Uh, like yourself, and who aren't gonna monkey wrench this. I've never seen them come harder at me than now, uh, because they know, they know it, they know. But that's okay. The issue is, I want everyone that needs to know and wants to know. I want everyone to know how to deal with the situation,